Right. Welcome to Tabletop Roleplay Theater. My name is Curtis. I'm going to be your guide tonight. Tonight, we begin our Friday night double feature. Something new I've concocted. It starts with Episode 2 of Greyhawk City, Shadows of the Gym, followed by, at 10 p.m. Central Time, right after this, or shortly after this, we're going to have a little break, and then after Shadows of the Gym, we're going to go into Cult, Divinity Lost, Manhattan. It's the Divinity Lost version of the game, and it's going to be set in 1990 Manhattan, New York. Grimdark, followed by a horror. I think it's the classic theme for a Friday night double feature. We recently launched our Patreon page. All of us here that you see on the screen are a collection of actors and artists, gamers from all walks of life that collaborate to bring you compelling content. And we're a diverse group that loves playing a diverse set of games and a diverse set of styles, and we're creating a community for all of those people to come together and help us tell stories in that aim that we can all be proud of. We strive to give you an experience unlike anything else in the TTRPG community. And with your support, we'll be able to upgrade our equipment, support our artists, and continually create new and interesting content. If you like what we do and you want to help support us, visit our Patreon page today. If you're interested in joining the team as a player, performer, or a game director, or perhaps behind the scenes as a writer or an artist, a producer, contact us on Twitter at TTRP Theater. You can also join our community now. Tonight, our Discord has gone public. It won't show up in our chat. I'm still working on that little feature, but it is, as Matt likes to say, in the doobly-doo down below. So you can click that link, and that will bring you to our Discord page as a community member. Tonight, I have all of my talented players together, so we are going to introduce them now. So let's start up at the top with the man with the plan, Invisible Duke. How are you tonight, Duke? Oh, hang on. Say it again, Duke. Can I hear you? Try it again. Oh, you can't hear me. Hang on. I know how to fix that. Microphone. Nope. How about now? Can you hear me?
Lots of static. But yes, I can hear you.
Lots of static, but you can hear me.
There you are.
I don't hear any static.
I don't hear it anymore.
On my end, but if somebody hears it in Twitch, let me know.
Now it's gone.
Okay,
it
good.
Was the ghost.
All right, so yes, all of my talented players are here. I think everybody out there in Twitch land heard me. But now they should be able to hear you guys, right? Looks like gremlins go away. All right, so we're here. Our great talented players, Invisible Duke. What's going on?
Not a lot, man. Excited to play. Sad my brother's not here, but when real life calls and your uncle takes you to Florida for the weekend, I can totally understand the choice.
Yeah. What are you gonna do?
I don't. Florida?
All right. Well, then that's a great segue. Jay Lee, how are you doing tonight?
I'm fantastic. It's been a good day. Very sunny down here. Excited for some Dungeons and Dragons and see where the story's going to go.
Outstanding. So then we're going to go right across to Olivia. How are you doing tonight?
Good. I'm good. I'm also very excited. There might be a dog barking. Sorry.
Sounds like the dog's excited too.
He is very
excited.
Doggo!
Surprise guest!
Nice. All right, so then we're going to jump down to Austin. How's it going tonight?
Going great, man. How are you?
I'm doing fabulous.
That's great.
Anything exciting happening in your world right now?
I had Sonic.
Sonic? Hey.
Oh, details.
The highlight of my day. Did you get a cherry limeade?
No, I'm actually off pop. It's been a month.
Oh,
Ooh,
look at you.
Yeah.
like product placement for Sonic.
All right. Well, now that I feel sufficiently guilty, Chris is not here tonight. He's gone to Florida, that lucky bastard. So we'll miss him, but Aaron Stone, no doubt, will be tagging along with his brother August. He may just be a little quieter tonight than he usually is, and I'm sure August can attest to that. So, with those things said, I think it's time to... Oh, wait, hang on a second. I forgot to talk about my little unofficial sponsors. We do have some unofficial sponsors. These are people I like, and they help me out in what I do, and so I'm going to thank them. Roll20 Virtual Tabletop, that's who we use for tonight's game, and I want to give a special thanks to Annabee Meyer at AnnabeeMeyer.com for her fantastic maps of the world of Greyhawk, and Malden's Greyhawk for their comprehensive information detailing the city of Greyhawk, which is where our story takes place. Without these awesome people and the very hard work they do, my job would be impossible. And here's my little note to make sure that my mic inputs have swapped. I'm going to make a note to make that note earlier. And yeah, that's awesome. So now let's see what's going on in the city of Greyhawk. And that is on this side. If I can grab it, there it is. So, as I like to do, a little setting of the tone at the beginning of our game. 3 of you are on your way to see Adam Stone. 2 of you haven't met him yet, but I'm sure at some point you probably will. And in our camera's view now, if you like to think that way, we see Adam Stone, and he's a man in his... He looks pretty good for early 60s. And you know that he looks good because he has no shirt on right now. He's got a short cropped beard with flecked pretty heavily with gray these days, but there's a little color that still peeks through. He's got long hair that he typically keeps in a ponytail, but it's a little ragged at the moment. Wisps flying off of his forehead. He's got on a pair of light leather gloves. And he brushes the hair falling out of his eyes and looks at the man in front of him, a naked man, shackled and chained to a wood column, stretched, arms up, his toes dangling about an inch from the floor. Is that all you have to say? The man gives an exhausted nod. It takes all of his strength to lift up his face, and then it drops quickly. And Adam looks at him with disgust. Your rite of pain isn't over, though. Adam commences with a series of body shots, 2, 4, then the face. He reaches out with his right hand and holds the face up by the hair, and with his left hand, a series of quick jabs until the nose softens with a wet crunch. Sounds kind of like a dropped melon. Adam tilts his head slightly, wipes the sweat from his brow. Anthony, a city watchman, steps from the shadows from behind his superior. This cultist is done. Take him to the tree. And then return, stopping for ale. Stop without stopping for ale. And start lunch. Shift change will be here before you know it. It's another day in Greyhawk City. And we find ourselves with the Stone brothers and Kay, who have decided to take their newly found friend to go visit Dad.
I wouldn't call her friend.
More like Fugitive,
Yes,
Or-
more like
prisoner,
captive. Yes.
unwilling.
Definitely an unwilling captive.
Would I have heard of Adam Stone? You said he's the captain of the guard?
Kay, you would have heard of Adam Stone. He
Awesome.
was appointed the deputy constable of the city of Greyhawk, in charge of the foreign quarter. I believe it was a year ago. I'll have to check my notes.
I think
but
that's right.
I think it was about a year ago.
Gotcha.
If you inquired as to who's that guy, he's a war hero, is kind of pretty much the answer that anybody's going to give you. It's about all that's known of him. Apparently he was good at his job.
What was his job before this?
As a war hero, I meant.
Oh, he's good at being a war hero. Gotcha.
Right. At killing people?
Ooh,
I
okay, we'll love
suppose,
that.
Maybe?
He's good at war
Alright,
stuff.
Nervous wreck.
Yeah, good at
stuff
war
that-
stuff.
The stuff that happens in war. That's what he was good at.
Good at war stuff. Okay. Cool.
So yeah, she's handcuffed from behind. Aaron's got her by the cuffs and is leading her down the street, and I'm walking sword in hand about 3 paces behind them. And
Sword in hand?
Oh yeah.
What
I don't
do you think she's gonna
It's not for you, honey.
do? All right.
This ain't for you. My brother would probably easily, or at least I think that my brother would easily handle you. I'm not worried about you. I'm worried about everything else that's in the streets of Greyhawk City.
Fair. Kay's just gonna go along for it for now, but she's very cautious. She's looking around the area, seeing if there's any opportunity to maybe get away, taking in whatever they pass, to try to figure out where they are. Anything she can, but she's silent.
Well, I'm sure they're going to take you pretty much down the main roads, and from what I understand of the Stone Brothers, I don't think that they'll do anything to show you out or embarrass you in that sense. They have a mission.
No.
The Artisan Quarter is, as I described it last week, it's a pretty work-based town. It's the middle of the week. There's some customers, but a lot of these shops, they take their wares to other people's shops for resale, or sometimes even are crafty enough and well-known enough that their stuff is exported to other cities and locations throughout the world of Greyhawk and the Flaness, to other various cities like Divers or over Verbobonk is one of my favorites. I love saying Verbobonk. And so you have to travel from the Artisan's Quarter across the Processional, which is the main road that travels all the way from the South Gate at the very farthest tip of the city, and it travels all the way up, straight through the middle of the city, bisecting the city all the way to the Citadel gates, all the way to the main castle at the other end. It's like 30 to 40 feet across at different places. The interesting part about the processional is it's not made of stone. It's this weird sand mixture, and so it looks like sand, it feels like sand. You could actually, if you wanted to, reach down, and if your fingers were stiff enough, probably even scoop up a chunk of it. And for some reason, that particular system and its slight mounded building style, my camera's a little off, gives it a nice drainage. There's no ruts, and it's just kind of an odd system as far as a highway would go. And it's a unique feature of Greyhawk is the processional. And where the Artisan Quarter meets the Foreign Quarter, and they do, right at the center of the city is where the great big huge open courtyard is, the big bazaar where there's lots of vendors, street vendors of all sorts, street entertainment when you get to the end of the week. And also in this particular part of town, as a matter of fact, on this map, you can kind of see that little big gray blotchy area. That's the big open courtyard area. And there's that tree that hangs there, And I think I mentioned this tree in our one shot that we did, or not the one shot, but one of our 0 episodes. And this is the hanging tree. Hadn't been used in years. It's a historical thing from days gone by. It's this huge roan tree, which is what we would consider oak, but it's like bigger. It's not quite like a redwood size, but it's probably, 8 to 10 feet wide, or from, edge to edge. The tree is at its base, and it goes up 20 or 30 feet with these very nice, beautiful low-hanging branches. It's a beautiful tree. In the holiday season, they can decorate it up, and it just looks gorgeous out there in that big open square, especially with the street vendors and stuff around it. Over the last 5 to 7 years, since things have gotten harder in Greyhawk and points have been having to be made, they've started reusing the hanging tree. And as you guys are crossing from one section of the city to the other, and you cross by the hanging tree, in it hangs a very beaten, naked man. And around his neck hangs a sign, sloppily painted, says cultist.
I spit on the ground at the dead body.
You, not a fan.
Keep walking.
That's the only real significant thing that you notice on your way to the city watch station in the Foreign Quarter.
Literal hanging tree.
It's gone quite back to its literals for sure. And so, yeah, you guys get to here, which is the City Watch Station. But before we go any further with this particular part of the story, we still have part of our party who is in the Artisans Quarter and has just visited a nice leather worker Eric, you don't let my turn order window.
Hey, Leaf, what were we doing again?
I believe you had just stepped back out onto the street.
Where were we going, man?
Bogart starts every session with like, what's going on?
We were trying to find the dark monastery.
Oh, that's right. So,
where do you think we should do that? Milo, you're okay.
The dog gets very excited when you role
He's
play.
very excited. There's a toy under the bed, and he wants the toy. So.
I don't remember where it is, man. This way.
Okay. And I follow you.
Yeah, just head towards the monastery.
Milo.
Hold on 1 second.
That's all right. Get Milo his toy. Did you guys get instructions? They sure they gave you directions to where
Milo
the
needs his
monastery
toys
was.
very much.
I think we grabbed a map from the library of Greyhawk.
No, you haven't been to the library yet.
No. The little monasteries.
Oh yes.
Okay. Of maps. I thought.
Yes. We did talk about that. You're right.
Yep.
Thank you.
The Bogart's like holding the map out like a tourist in New York, just like trying to navigate his way to the monastery.
I'm just thinking very close to you. All these people make me very nervous. So.
I have to quietly ask a couple different people which way it is.
So yeah, where you are, I am working for our viewers and you at the same time.
No worries.
From, let's see, where did you... Oh, yeah, you guys were right there. Well, I have to zoom way out. Okay, so if you notice that by the wall, this is the full map of Greyhawk. If you zoom out, you can see Greyhawk's divided into 3 sections as you go from bottom to top. The bottom section is where the slum quarter and the thief quarter is. That's Old Town. The middle section is where the artisans quarter, the river quarter, the foreign quarter, the schools, which is Clerksburg. It doesn't get a quarter name. It's called Clerkburg, which is up there at the top big spacey area. Anyways, where you guys are, which is right down here, if you can see that little purple circle, and where you are going is a bird would fly all the way up there to that little yellow box. It's actually that whole facility, but I just put a little yellow box on the center part of it. That is the Dark Moon Monastery of Zulkin.
Great.
So it's a ways away.
I guess we start walking.
Yeah, just start trekking.
Yep.
Oh wait, no, it's down this out.
So I would like for the Furball to make me a perception check, please.
Okay. Perception. 9.
A 9.
Yeah. Starting it off right.
So yeah, you're like, all right, let's go. And you take a step. And then, Olivia, make me a perception roll.
The gelatinous cube all over.
Oh gosh. PTSD. I'm just starting throwing marbles.
A 6.
Oh wow, you guys are rolling great.
You guys are very confident in your short time in the leatherworker's office, but fortunately, it doesn't last long because you don't have to roll when the crossbow clicks and you hear a voice from behind you say, "Give me a reason to put your head on my wall." And then about that time, 2 other City Watch step from behind a cart in front of you and pop out from a corner, also with crossbows drawn.
Pointed at us.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
And as you start to assess the situation and look around, you see another one pop out from over here and another one pop out from over there until you are surrounded by about 8. Not about. You are surrounded by 8 City Watch.
Huh.
As I escaped with my acrobatics.
How's it going, boys?
Yeah. Thought you was gonna just fade off into the city, did ya? On your knees. And they will come at you aggressively with their crossbows.
Yeah, no, gonna follow the law.
So it's at this point that when they get you on your knees, they start to put shackles on your wrists, and then they commence to argue amongst themselves about what to do with you. And it varies from a handful of different outcomes, all of which center around the fact that not that you really gave them a good chase, because it's the city of thieves. They're often on a good chase. That's all right. It's Milo.
We love him.
Milo says,
He's a
fuck
good
that
boy.
shit.
He's a good boy.
He needs a toy.
Good Milo, go get your toy. And so
Under the bed. Hold on.
it more has to do with the difference that you are being a tabaxi. You look like a cat person. You are a cat person. And then you've got the furball, which is a furry person thing with ears. And unusual for this particular part of the world. Not unheard of by everybody, but by a lot. But it's not as like you're some mysterious thing that's never ever been seen. But the one who asked for a reason to put your head on the wall is very serious about that particular outcome happening. He would really like to have a tabaxi head on his wall. He says, can you imagine how many tabaxi heads are hanging on walls in this city? I dare say less than 5. That makes it very valuable.
Less than 5? That's
It's just a guess, of course.
too many.
So as they argue as to your outcome, they ultimately decide on what any good city watch should decide, and that's to take you to the foreign quarter. They decide to take you to any other city watch is going to be too much work for them. They can take you and pretty much dump you off, but that's the outcome as opposed to killing you, which is what a couple of them would like to do. So they take you then also to the foreign quarter city watch. And for the viewers at home, I just want to say that this is one of those moments where a dungeon master says, I win.
He got us together.
This was a good example of railroading. If you're watching and learning how to DM and stuff, you'll hear different sorts of terms. That was a railroad. So this is the City Watch Station, and I would say that given the set of circumstances that the brothers get there just slightly before the gaggle of City Watch with Tabaxi and Furball in tow. And so this particular City Watch station is a simple 2-story structure, stone built, obviously, for longevity and security. One single door in the front, gaining entrance. And when you go in, there's a couple of cells off to your left. There's a room up ahead that looks like it's got a kitchen and a hearth and stuff in it. A long table. It's probably where the City Watch eat. Where that Anthony will be making his lunch. There's also a desk right there, just about centered amongst 4 wood columns. And there's a City Watch sitting there. And August, have you made yourself familiar around this particular place?
Oh, yeah.
So that City Watchman is Fredo. Just like the Godfather.
Fredo.
You've seen him. He's of no rank importance. He's on desk duty now. Sometimes he's on duty out and about the city. But today he's on duty at the desk. And it's much like you would think any jail would be. And of course he greets you when you come through the door. Ah, August, what have you got there?
A lurker.
A lurker.
I need to see my father.
All right. Hang on just a second. Now, just for you guys and for the fans at home, other than the occasional token, I pretty much use the generic Wizards of the Coast tokens, or the ones that I don't know that I buy through Roll20 for whatever. And so some of these, like the City Watch and this other guy in the other cell, and then the guy down there that you can all see named Reggie. He doesn't really look like that with the barbarian hat look on. Those are generic tokens that are more related to their abilities in class, if you were to give an NPC a particular class, as opposed to their actual looks. Now then, when I have a full-time artist on board, visit our Patreon page if you'd like to get a full-time artist on board at TTRP Theater, and we will get some pretty awesome looking tokens. I can promise you that. But that's Fredo sitting at the desk. Reggie is in the little conference room over there. There's another night watchman. You can hear him wrestling around in the kitchen. And Reggie gets up and goes back down the hallway, that little short hallway, back to the corner office where Adam Stone is. And I was stalling for just a moment while I was trying to fix Austin's. There it is, header. Because for some reason, it's all wonky. I'm covering his chin. I don't want it up at his chin. All right, fix that. And so, yeah, it's just a few moments, Kay and the two Stone brothers. Then Fredo comes back out, waves you down, and the two Stone brothers take you back to this corner office, and you now stand before Adam Stone, Deputy Constable of the Free City of Greyhawk, Foreign Quarter Division.
So, you need to tell him what you told us. And I suggest you don't mince words. All right?
What's going on, August?
We followed somebody. And you know the great... So the entrance to the sewers not far from the house. I hate to admit it, but Aaron and I have neglected that spot for the last several months, and we saw somebody that we thought we should probably be interested in. So we dashed down that alley. We went down into the sewers, and something drastic has changed. There's some kind of altar. There's a room, 8 columns in the room, 2 on each side, 4 long. At the end of the room, that's the best way I can describe it. It's a stone altar. There doesn't seem to be any runes carved anywhere in the room.
You see a glint of familiarity in his eye.
And I do.
You know about this?
What I notice.
He looks at you. Okay, what?
Oh, I was asking if would I notice that he seems familiar.
You roll a perception check. I'm going to give the son the benefit of the doubt. He's stared into his dad's eyes a long time.
So I'm paying attention. 21.
You notice it too.
You know about this?
He doesn't answer you.
You know about?
He doesn't answer you. He shifts his gaze towards Kay and says, "So you know about this?"
I saw it before. Yeah, I've seen it. I didn't count the pillars and stuff out, and now I feel like I probably should I have counted the pillars. I don't know, but yes, yeah. A few years, no. Sorry, I'm getting a bit ahead of myself here. I mean, you have me handcuffed. Apologies if I come across a wee bit nervous.
Did she attack you, August? Do we need to have the cuffs on now?
No, she didn't attack us.
All right, let's unchain the girl.
She was snooping around. I wanted to make sure that, because when she started telling stories, I knew that you needed to hear these stories. So,
very good.
Aaron, take the cuffs off. Yeah, take the cuffs off.
If this was one of those video games where in the bottom corner it says, Kay appreciates that move, that would pop up. She kind of rubs her wrist a little bit.
Roll for
Aaron.
emote, please.
Roll for emote. You got it.
Yeah, so Aaron would have taken the cuffs off. put him back in his little pocket, and we're both, kind of obviously blocking you from any exit out the door.
Could I sit?
Actually, that's what. Yeah, August. Now that the shackles are off, he makes himself very cordial, offers you a seat, and he himself sits at his desk so that he can put his arms on it and give you his full attention.
All right. Kay slowly makes her way past the burly men and takes a seat on the chair that is probably much bigger than her, and crosses her legs and kind of rubs her hands together nervously, but she seems to be a little less anxious now that she doesn't have the cuffs on. So, yeah, I don't really know why I'm here. I was just curious.
So you know something about these locations.
When I found you hiding in that alley, you had been downstairs where we were. You had said that you knew about this in other spots in the city. You need to tell him what you know.
Know about is a very it's a very set term. I wouldn't quite say know about. I have I saw one location. It was a long time ago in a warehouse by the wharves.
Again, what warehouse? Be specific.
It was on the water side. I would probably know like street names. They have street names.
Yes.
Okay. I have no reason to not give him this information. In my mind, I just want to get out of here. So I'll go ahead and tell him what street name, what warehouse number.
Right. Yeah. We
kind of looking out for myself here, and I just want to leave.
Right. We won't worry about specifics. I can locate the specifics. So she gives you an address, and Adam is like, what did you see at this warehouse?
It was the same thing. Like I said, I didn't count the pillars, but it was pillars and pools of blood at the foot of it, and some kind of altar. But the one in the sewers, the blood seemed fresh, and she kind of looks over at August and Aaron and says, "Do you guys see?"
Yeah, Aaron probably walks up and puts the finger on.
Oh, you brought it with you.
Desk.
Oh, yep. That wasn't at the first warehouse. That's a new. That's new.
And we didn't just find that on the floor. It was placed perfectly centered on the altar.
You find a lot of fingers in Greyhawk City once in a while. You go to right spots. She's kind of mumbling to herself.
And there was a specter in there too, Dad. There was some kind of ghost of a mutilated little girl.
So I understand why my sons were scouring through holes in the ground. Why are you searching out? Milo's gonna kill Olivia. It's gonna be like Cujo. I'm just gonna see a little splash of blood, and Olivia's gonna get dragged off the screen. Sorry.
Now she's used to it. She loves him.
Sorry, I broke the mood. Yeah. So, why are you looking around bloody warehouses?
Someone owes me something. I'm just trying to find them.
That's not what you told us. Tell the truth.
I'm pretty sure that's it. Is what I told you?
Your brother.
Oh, I actually never mentioned him. This is meta.
Oh, you didn't?
No. She's a lot less trustworthy now. All she said was that she's trying to find someone.
Oh, I thought you said your brother. My bad.
Milo
Okay.
says meta.
Meta.
My fault.
Okay, secretive now.
I thought you'd mentioned your brother. Okay. August didn't say anything.
That would be a good catch though.
All right, so what exactly then again, just paraphrase for me, was your reason for poking around, just so Adam is clear?
Well, my reason, she just said that she was trying to find someone who owed her something. But, yeah. That's why. But
So
that's not the whole reason.
You part of the Thieves Guild?
The debt.
Oh. No. I don't, I try not to get too involved in... It's a lot of politics. You wouldn't think it would be a lot of politics with thieves, but no. Just poking around, I guess. Where
thieves can
I
politic amongst the best of them.
Mm.
So what you're trying to my apologies. I've come across much news today. The finger is new, but I think I have an idea.
Is that your work swinging?
Do what?
We walked past it on... I said, is that your work swinging? We walked past it on the way here. Is that news today?
He gives you the look of yes, but he doesn't say the word. What am I to do with you? What am I to do with this one? Are you going to continue to poke around looking for this
No.
debtor?
I guess not there. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Did I intrude on something here? You folks, you seem nice enough. You're Adam Stone, correct? I've heard of you. Pleasure to meet your acquaintance. Everyone knows you.
Let me explain something to you, child.
Actually, I'm okay. Sure.
I have a very sorted amount of information that I need to get through, and a very short amount of time in which to get through it. I'm receiving terrible bits of information, even having just now learned that some child's finger was lying on an altar in some underground lair. Now, apparently, August, this has something to do with a rite of pain. And from the information that I gleaned this morning, it has to do with cultists. Not the ones that you and I love so dearly. But nonetheless, cultists of IUs seem to have decided they want to resurge in this city, having once been defeated. There's even rumor that their great leader, some spirit Naga, has returned. Now, I don't know if that's even possible. But that is the garbage that I have to sort through.
Sorry, it just that name seems a little familiar.
Which name is
No,
that?
of Vecna, too.
Vecna? I know of Vecna, yes.
Adam stands, or August stands.
What do you know
straight
of that name?
Well, that's why I asked you. I don't really know much. I just know I use and Vecna. You hear a lot of names getting thrown around the city, and those are two that kind of pop out.
Why don't you tell me the not much you know about that particular name?
I think they're related to the altars somehow. But that's. I'm being honest here. I'm trying to find out the same things you are. I've just heard. I've heard the names I use in Vecna, and I'm guessing they're probably having to deal with these cultists. But
do you know about this
Not my
warehouse she speaks of? Milo is killing somebody's roommate. I keep it dark.
Give that boy a toy.
He has a ball.
No, that's
Give him another one.
It's all right. It's all good.
Give him treats.
They love animals in this. I'm going to drag out my little kitty here at some point, probably after break. We have a new little kitty in the house too. a little gray Baxter replica.
I love him already.
But he's gray instead. I call Baxter red. He's red to me because I have a brown one too that looks like that. Anyways, I'm getting off track. Adam Stone is.
He's just like, well, shit. Now I'm in even deeper. All I want to do is find this guy. But that's an inner monologue thing.
Yeah, no, I understand.
Hey,
I'm kind of having a bit of an inner monologue myself.
If she's interested in finding more out about these two, I'll tag along.
I want to know about this warehouse. It's not in my district. I can't send anyone there.
I'm not a deputy.
No. But you can go poke around. I trust you. It's information that I'm after because something strange is going on, and quite honestly, the less people I have to spread this around with, the better. If that makes any sense. And it's about that time that you hear a commotion in Russia. It's a commotion. As it comes crashing through the front door, a gaggle of City Watch who have now rejoined the argument that they should get a chance to beat on these people before they turn them over. But now they've waited until the absolute last minute, and they're not going to get the chance to relieve themselves.
I just have this visual of Keystone Cops.
It's similar, but they've all got much darker thoughts.
Kay's just like, oh, fantastic. Someone else is here that they hate more than me right now.
And so, yes.
Good luck is happening right now.
It's a loud commotion because they all came. They want to see what happens. And it's a loud enough commotion that it is distracting to the deputy constable. And you see that little slight hint of exasperation that quickly fades is followed by a flush of red, a hint of anger as he stands and then hides that and looks to you and says, "You are going to help my boys find that warehouse."
Okay.
And then he turns around and walks out the door.
For this, oh, there he goes. He's gone.
Had you had told us your name, right? You had said your name was
No, you never asked.
What's your name?
Oh, Kay.
Okay. I'm August.
Yeah, not.
I apologize if I was harsh. But let me say this to you. As long as you tell me the truth, I will fight to find out any of the information that you need to find. You understand?
She slowly stands up from her chair and offers a very small, kind of shaky hand. Sure. Truce then.
Truth.
No more handcuffs.
No more handcuffs.
Awesome. Just quick question. I consider this a sort of a freelance work. I'll help you. You help me. Would I be getting any payment for this at all? I do have food needs.
Yes, I can guarantee you money. I don't know how much money, but I can guarantee you money. All right?
Fantastic. All right, cool. Great. I guess that's settle it. And what's going on out there? Should we?
So yeah, it's about that time that you hear finally Adam Stone in a very loud voice yell, "Shut the fuck up! Put those two in the cage, and you all get out of my station." Only he yells it very loudly and very angrily over all of the ruckus that you heard. And then you can start to get a picture of how this man succeeded well on a battlefield during this particular time. His voice carries quite well over a loud commotion. And so you'll notice then we've got pretty much our basic city watch station like it was, except up in that little small holding cell they have tossed in the Furbolg and the Tabaxi. Now you see them, if you guys come out, you get to see a bit of the end of the commotion as the rest of the city watch are filing out. Both of you give me a perception roll.
$17.
12.
It's a pretty low threshold anyways, but you both realize that you're not quite clear as to if these people actually committed any crime. It sounds like this is more of just a look what we found on the street sort of situation as the conversation has devolved by the time it gets to this point.
Have I ever seen a Furbolg or a Tabaxi at this point? Probably not.
You've never seen a Tabaxi. I have thrown out there that there are 3 actual other Furbolgs that live inside Greyhawk City, so it is quite possible that you know they are here. You might have seen a glimpse of one. One of them works in the Artisan's Quarter, you know that.
Okay. So maybe you've seen a Furbolg.
Yeah.
See, I've been all over the city. Do you think there had been any chance that I would have seen a Tabaxi at all, or
same situation? It's not a Tabaxi. Leaf is the first Tabaxi to come to Greyhawk City, not in chains. I'll just put it that way.
Okay.
And there hasn't been one of those out in the open for many, 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 many years.
Gotcha.
The Furbolgs, it's quite possible you're going to be in the same situation, even regulars in town, unless you are familiar with the particular one in a particular area, which we may find out at some point that you actually were, because we don't have all of those details completely fleshed out. But there are a few, but because there are so few and they know of the racist nature when there are only 3 of a kind in a particular city, they don't come outside and go roaming around the streets, as it were.
Gotcha.
Sad to say. And so, yeah, that's when you guys come out. They've thrown them in. You realize that there was probably a chase involved, but you don't know much more than that, but it doesn't appear as any real crime. And this is the bits that you're picking up. Fredo is giving the constable, the deputy constable, some information, so you pick up bits and pieces.
Hey, Mr. Man, you have a bigger cage? It's so tiny.
It is a small cage, especially for 2. And you can.
Oh, we're both in one.
Oh no! I'm just curled up as tightly as I can, like hissing at people.
Yeah, there's a little bucket of stuff in there too. You hear some weird laughing coming from maybe the cell next door, and the city watch and the man who looks like he is in charge of the city watch ignore you completely as they discuss amongst themselves.
It's gonna be okay, Leaf. I promise. We're gonna make it, okay?
Do you think they're gonna cut off my head?
I'm getting lightheaded. I can't.
Kay's definitely just like watching them. Like, especially Leaf. She's like, who is this? What's this giant cat? She's never been one to be like very racist because she does a lot of, I mean, growing up with an elven brother, she was mixed with a lot of races throughout her life, like dealing with different races throughout. But she's interested in Leaf, and she like kind of can't help just like staring at her. Like,
how are you guys dressed?
I'm dressed in like traditional monk clothes. So
I'm just wearing traveler's clothing.
Yeah, just like my
basic.
Wrapped. I have like a cloak, but my hood's off because fuck it.
What color of cat are you?
I am like a rust colored. I have spots and stripes on the face. I can send you a picture of the cat.
So you're like the greatest. So you're like the greatest Meowman. Is that?
Yes,
are you like Mew Jackman? Meowman. Are you totally Mew Jackman?
Because like I can see Kay having a lot of dealings with like stray cats all the time. So right now she's just like, what?
Yeah.
That's a pretty good likeness of her on the token.
Stray cat.
So, and also, okay, like, I don't really see that, but yeah.
Yes.
Oh, you're an ocelot.
Ocelot. There you go.
Yeah, you're an ocelot.
So yeah, okay then.
If you have coin.
So as interested in as I am in the fact that there's a standing cat person, I'm actually more interested in the fact that she's dressed like a monk, or it is dressed like a monk. I probably don't even know that it's a he or a she. Is it obvious? I don't know about Tabaxi.
Does the cat have
obvious
titties?
what gender you're?
I don't. Some people depict the cats having boobs, others don't.
Is this is her garb something that is common in the monasteries here in Greyhawk City, or is it recognizable? Is it?
It is recognizable as, yes, from the Twilight Monastery from the Cairn Hills, which is in the domain of Greyhawk City. It's a few hours away, or actually a day and a half away, up into the hills. But yes, you've heard of those monks coming from town to town from time to time. You know that they grow calamanthus there. There's only one other monastery in town per se. There's lots of religious orders, but there's only one other place that calls itself a monastery that has monks, and that's the monastery of Zuakin, which is also honored at the Twilight Monastery as well, although they are more aligned with Zanye, which is a different deity. So you may not be familiar with the ins and outs of that particular thing, but you have seen them, once or twice over the years. Mostly on market days.
Pops, is she a monk? Why would you put a monk in the cell?
Calm down, August. I'm about to find this out.
It's just people are racist. It happens in the city all the time.
And
Kate's
so,
just like mumbling under her breath, like freaking racists everywhere.
so now that everybody's out of here, let's pull them out of the cage. I apologize for the crowding. So, from what I understand, you ran from the City Watch upon entry into the city.
That is correct in a way. That is one way of putting it. Man, Mr. Man, if that is acceptable. The thing is, we were told that the people at the gate were really corrupt and stuff. So we tried to avoid that corruption, and it's a simple case of the mix-ups.
Misunderstanding.
It's a city.
Man,
I will not deny that from time to time you may run across someone in our watch who is not as honorable as his brothers.
Ain't that the truth?
That is the exception, not the rule.
Kay has a lot of stuff she could say right now, but she's trying her best to.
we were told that if we were to approach the gate, man, like my friend Leaf here would be on a spike. So we just tried to avoid as much hassle and tried to stay out of the way of causing scenes. Obviously, it didn't work out that way, but hey, we're doing our best.
Anything's possible these days, but I doubt that particular thing would have happened.
If you would like us to pay a fee to stay in this city, we would happily pay you. We just didn't want to cause any trouble or for us or your guards, man.
No. That's not necessary. What you will do is you'll pay the 5 gold apiece fine for running from the City Watch. And then I'm going to return you to the street.
Which street, man?
The one outside that door.
That sounds reasonable enough, man.
Do you have money?
Yeah, I'd pay for both of us.
Okay. You don't appear poor, so he wasn't too worried about it, but have to confirm. Now, what was your business in Greyhawk? Is your stay here planned to be long?
We are not sure. We were told by the monastery to come visit the monastery in this town, man.
So you're on monastery business.
That is a fact, Mr. Man.
And this is the Twilight Monastery that you are on business for.
Correct. We've been sent to help in any way change the corruption in this town. City. Rather. Yeah.
That is a bold goal.
We are bold people.
Is there any corruption you're looking for in particular?
In particular, our monastery is in a constant struggle with the Scarlet Brotherhood. But directly, no. We're just trying our best to improve the world in which we all coexist, man.
You are as unique as your race.
Thank you, man.
Well, I don't know what you'll do as far as the Scarlet Brotherhood goes. From what I understand, there's not one left in town. But perhaps you know something I don't know. Is that
Probably
true?
not, man.
Probably not.
Probably not.
Well, do you know where you're going?
We have a general direction.
The Dark Sun, I assume, right?
Sure.
Isn't that the name? The Dark Sun Monastery?
Oh.
Dark Moon! Dark Moon! Dark
Dark
Moon!
Moon.
The Dark Moon, right? Dark Moon.
That's it, man.
Yes.
You just said the name of the monastery we're going to.
Master Akoi, and it's in the river quarter. It's not too difficult to find.
Well, that's good for us, man, because I got us lost.
I'm gonna put my hand on my dad's shoulder. Let us show him the way. And I'll kind of go in close and very lowly say, if he knows anything about the Scarlet Brotherhood, we need to find out.
Well, that's awfully nice of you to take us to the monastery, man.
Happy to help.
We really appreciate it, man.
You're awful.
And you, Monk.
Yeah. Go ahead.
And you, Monk, you're...
I'm Leaf in the Wind. Who are you?
Leaf in the Wind. I am August Stone. This is my brother Aaron Stone. This is my father, Adam Stone. This is my new friend, Kay. Kay, would you be interested in joining us, seeing as we have business right after? Perhaps you would accompany us to the monastery before we head to our destination.
Do I have much choice?
You can come with us, or you can wait here, or we can meet up at a determined place sometime after. It's probably easiest if you just come along, because
yeah, sure. I'll come. This whole time, she's still just been staring at Leaf in the Wind, and that's like the only reason she's going, because she is so like intrigued.
I help you?
What? No. No. And at that moment, she looks away.
Well, does she need help, man?
No, it's just I've never. Oh, wow. You're just.
It's because she's a cat.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's a little weird at first. You get used to it, though.
No, I actually really like cats.
Hey, Kay, it's rude to stare. It's rude to stare, all right?
It's rude to handcuff people you just met. I mean, a lot of things.
Yeah, it's
happen.
also true, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that. I told you I'm sorry. I was a little bit on edge. Okay, I was a little bit on edge. I apologize.
You want something to take the edge off, man?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
We'll talk about it later.
What are you? Are you? Yeah, we'll talk later. We'll talk later.
Okay, man. I know what
you're saying. Yeah. All right. Okay. Yeah. Sure. Let's get this. Whatever the term is to get going. Get the ball rolling.
You are so nice here, Leaf. Can you believe the luck?
Oh, don't get used to it out there.
I think these are exceptions.
Well, why, man?
You're not really from around here at all, in the slightest.
What was your first guess, man?
Well, I mean, you're like not. I am intuition.
Just so you don't have to keep calling any of us man, I'm August. Okay, what's your name?
Bogard Blunt.
Bogard.
Is that a real name?
That's my name, man.
Oh my gosh.
So I guess if I'm real, it's real.
So we've got Leaf and Blunt. Leaf, blunt. Got it.
I had never even put that together.
Oh my god. Blunt in the
How
wind.
did I not see that?
I didn't even think about that. It's funny.
I think this is a great spot to take our break. Or now, hello, we're back from break. And it was a good one. Got myself something to drink.
It was thing.
Got to play with the little kitty cat. I was going to have her on cam, but she was eating her food and was not interested in posing. So, next time. And we now have a party of players. And did Zoom freeze up? Or did Duke freeze up? No, he didn't freeze up. Everybody's just being very still. You scare me for a minute. Move around from time to time. I know you're alive.
We can't hear you on the Zoom.
Uh-oh.
Like, we can
Can
hear
you
you
hear me
through the
now?
Twitch stream.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
there you are.
Okay. Sorry about that. There's that one other little extra clickety-clickety thing I gotta do. I gotta remember that. Note to self. Clickety-clickety.
You'll know that later.
So make a note about making a note
Yeah.
to
Or
remember
the clickety.
to remember the note that you were going to make earlier.
By the
About
time we're
making
all
a note.
done, I'll be good at it.
Notes on notes on notes.
Yeah. No, I think everybody's good. All right.
Clickety clickety.
Clickety-clickety. Hashtag clickety-clickety.
New trending.
Hashtag clickety clickety.
Followed by hashtag WTF. All right, so yes, now we have a party, question mark. And was it your decision to escort these folks to the monastery?
Yeah.
Or had you come to a complete consensus yet?
No, I think that was the plan. We were going to escort him to the monastery.
Hopefully there will be some
And then we'll head to the wharfs.
gold in this later, so why not?
Oh, that's another thing is I would have arranged with my father some sort of recompense for Kay before we left.
Some sort of recompense? For instance... Now I can't hear you. What did I do?
I don't know. What did I do?
I must have clicked some... No, I think I did that. All right, I'm
Yes,
sorry.
no.
Recompense?
Kay had asked about payment.
Yes.
If she would be paid for information. So I just want to make sure that that was taken care of before we left, so that she didn't have any reason to run off.
Do you go back and just have a one-on with your dad for this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He makes it very clear to you that he wants to know everything that she knows. And if everything's on the
Right.
up and up, then of course I see no
Yeah, and
reason why we
I figure
can't take care.
money's probably the easiest way to keep her around.
You wouldn't be wrong, yeah.
I mean, you showed me your hand. I mean, straight up, you were just like, "Well, can I get paid for this?" Yes, you can
Yeah.
get paid for this if that means you'll stick around.
I love people
Okay.
like that. I've never been able to do that.
I'm totally fine with people like that.
Yeah, she doesn't have a lot going for her right now, so she wasn't really doing anything else. Why not?
That's real fucked
There's
up, man. The
some point in
capitalist system.
One more reason that I did this with him in his office, away from everybody else. You don't need to know. You don't need to know her salary.
Wait, we're getting paid for this, man?
No, I'm just escorting you to the monastery.
So this is where we get a little bit of Greyhawk history, and while you guys, having not grown up in Greyhawk like I did when I was young and playing Dungeons and Dragons, some of the names I throw out there may not be of too much importance to you. However, you're going to the River Quarter. And if there was ever a place in a city that like I would want to go to, the River Quarter is definitely on that list. Now the Foreign Quarter is pretty cool because it literally is. It's got everybody from all over the world there. So we're one of the reasons why he took you guys to the Foreign Quarter. They're more equipped to deal with people that are not
different.
Yeah, outside of the norm. And but the River Quarter is named such because the gate on the west side of the city, up in that corner of that middle section of the city, is the that's the wharf gate, and that takes you out to the river. And so everybody who comes in from the river comes into this part of town first. And that's how it got its name, the River Quarter. And so lots of sailors, lots of the Renee barge folk, which are a group of humans that we would classify as like gypsy type. And they live on boathouses and barges out on the river and up in the lake, and are a river folk type people. And so there are lots of them that come into this part of the city to shop and drink and just get some respite from days upon days on the river, perhaps. So there's lots of bars, lots of parties. Some of the more famous ones, of course, are the Green Dragon Inn, which is one of the most famous inns in Dungeons and Dragons. Like if you pick up any 5e module today, say for instance the I don't know, what's the one that they just had that was so big, the Dragon Heist. There's a little thing in the beginning that will tell you how you can set this in the world of Greyhawk, and it uses the Green Dragon Inn as the inn of choice. It is the classic adventurer's inn that was plugged into this world a long time ago. So that's one of the classic settings that's there. That's the reason why I'm telling you. There's also the Low Sea Taverns right across the street. The Wizard's Hat Inn is just down the road. There's also a City Watch station and a Night Watchman station. The River Rat is another one of the more surly bars in that particular section. But in the greener part of the River Quarter, up on the ledge, as the land begins to rise, because it progressively rises as it goes up. If you stand at the southern end of Greyhawk, you can look up and see the northern end at the top of the hill. And just before the garden wall there, that middle wall that leads into the higher and the more swell section of town, is where the monastery is, right up against the wall, nestled in on the hill amongst the trees, with a little path that goes up to it. And it is right there on roll 20 where my little purple circle is. Oh, I can even do the bring you there move. But that's at the top edge of the River Quarter. Those little red dots were some of those taverns I mentioned. That one off to the left in the front, if you were standing at the top of that, is the Green Dragon, or the one, I'm sorry, right across the street from it. That's the big Green Dragon Inn. Very famous place. So this monastery is different from the Twilight Monastery. There's no big courtyard. It is one big building compound. However, the front doors of the main large building in the front are completely open. As a matter of fact, there's really no doors there. It's just a big open portal. And as you go in, it is a covered courtyard. Only the floor is like a giant Zen garden. Sand, some rocks, just a smidge of like a succulent here or there, just a handful, basically just very seems specific yet oddly placed. And you are greeted by a shirtless monk in white cloth pants that are tied at the ankles. He has no shoes on. Hello.
How are you?
Well, how are you?
Okay.
And he's looking at the tabaxi, obviously dressed in familiar garb, however not a familiar face. So he's looking at you with wonder and camaraderie or love in the same sort of facial expression. That's sort of a weird combination, but that's what it is.
Hello.
Because he's smiling, but he's amazed. Hello. You come from the monastery.
Yes.
Fabulous. I had heard that there was one there. Simply amazing. You are beautiful. I hope you don't mind me saying.
I think he's hitting on you. Man.
No. She's amazing. What can I do for you?
I just like nudge both, like just elbow you. Or
Oh, sorry. We have come for many reasons, man. She has been sent here to do things which she will explain because I do not know. She is a special monk who gets to know things that I don't. Man.
And so he look. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say that we were sent here by the Twilight Monastery. And
So you probably need to see Master Okoyan then.
Oh, you're not him? Yeah, we need to speak to him.
No, I am not the master.
Pretty easy
But-
to get you confused.
Except he wears black. But anyway,
Good to know. I'll keep that in my brain noggin.
very good. The master is away today. I'm sorry. I can't take you to him now. You're more than welcome to stay here while you wait. Although he probably won't be back until sundown tomorrow.
So we have until sundown tomorrow.
Correct.
Do we want to come back then, leave, or do we want to like stay here? I feel like we had made some good connections with those three outside.
yeah,
You know,
where are they
So-
going? We should find out.
I don't like getting myself too deep in other people's business, man. But we could chill with them. I'd be cool. They're cool.
Well, if you were looking for a place to stay, for you two especially, I would recommend the Whistling Fish. It's in the foreign quarter. It's not too far from the wall. It's a
Thank
very
you for that.
wonderful place, but it's very welcoming to those who are not familiar to these parts.
Well, that's us in a nutshell, man.
Yes, I can see.
I'm glad you can see. I knew a blind guy.
Oh.
Okay. Should,
He's just like, okay.
Okay.
Stoners, man, stoners. We can't take them anywhere.
But you can. Makes it more interesting.
Should we head to?
So let's go rejoin our new friends, man.
Well, it was
It's a party, dude.
very nice meeting you. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. I will, if I see the master before you arrive, I will let him know that you're coming.
Thanks, man. Yeah, we'll walk out. Let's walk out.
Yep.
I feel
Bye,
like this
Mr. Not Blind Man.
Kay and August have just been sitting outside in like awkward silence. Like, all right.
Well, you and I probably, the three of us have probably been discussing heading to the wharf before dark. I mean, that's what I would be hounding you about.
Rat folk.
Interesting. Okay, so you guys are back in the street?
Yeah, man. Hey, how's it going, August, man?
Are you all not staying here at the monastery? Or?
Well, we had planned on it, but the guy we're supposed to see isn't going to be back into its politics. We're coming back tomorrow. Just figured we'd chill with our new friends. Tony? No?
Kay?
As in K, yes.
You say my name or
Yes, your name.
Oh,
it happens a lot. It happens.
August is befuddled at the fact that you want to hang out.
He's never really like had friends, and that word's getting thrown around a lot here. So she's
sorry, I'm a hugger. Let me go to the very beginning. We are new to the area, obviously. We need connections, and we feel like you could be you could be those connections. That's all I'm saying, man.
Okay.
August.
All right. So, yeah, why don't we walk and talk?
That's my favorite thing to do, man.
Well, then we'll get along just fine.
And we start walking. Unless other people have things to do. Which way are we walking anyway, man?
If your plan is to go to the wharves, go ahead, August.
Oh, I would have just been, I would have just started heading in the direction of the wharves. At least in that direction. Are they close by? Are they?
Actually, yes. You're.
He said there was the wharf gate nearby.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that road that's right in front of the monastery. I mean, as far as right in front is kind of a vague statement, but that road, if you follow it straight to the left, that gate in the wall there is the wharf gate, and that takes us right out to the river. You're on the main road to the river, as it were. That road is teeming with traffic, carts, wagons, in and out, people in all sorts of different types of clothing, different headwear, turbans and hats and hoods, and some with none, some bald and hairless, some very pale-skinned, some very dark-skinned, lots of different people coming and going. And then...
would I know about the whispering fish? Is that what you called it?
Whistling fish.
Whistling fish.
If I said whispering, I misspoke.
No. I just misheard probably. Would I know about the whistling fish?
Yeah, it's a
Would I know
relative. Yeah, it's a relatively well-known establishment. It's in the foreign quarter, right inside one of the gates in a relatively nice part of town. The most curious thing about it is it's very welcoming to those who don't feel welcome, and part of that is because of the person who owns it is a half giant, a half hill giant named Grunab, who is a very large man.
Oh, we're gonna get along.
And does not. He has a reputation for.
Well, is there somewhere, since the street is so busy, is there somewhere close by that I would know of that I could take them where we could have some privacy to talk? Because I'm not asking them about the Scarlet. What's it? What I can't think.
Scarlet Brotherhood.
Scarlet Brotherhood.
I'm not asking them about the Scarlet Brotherhood when we're standing on the street.
Right.
And my whole intention is to ask them about the Scarlet Brotherhood.
There are lots of places along this stretch of road. This is kind of like the
yes, but places that I am not going to have every single eye in the place on us because I'm sitting with a cat.
Oh, yeah. Well, right. And as far as you know, as far as reputations go, probably the Whistling Fish is going to be the best place that's going to happen. It is a little bit down and out of the way from where you're going, but if you wanted to have a private conversation in an inn with nobody looking at the tabaxi, that's going to be it.
Okay.
Well, let's grab a brew before we go anywhere.
I mean, you might get away with it in the crowded Green Dragon after a period of wonder, and then everybody will go.
No, because if we're in the Green Dragon with the tabaxi, half the people are going to get up and go find somebody else to bring back to show them the tabaxi. Yeah, I'm not doing that. I know better than that shit.
Not wrong.
Yeah. So instead of walking towards the wharf, now that these two have joined us, I turn us back and head towards the foreign quarter. And I'm not saying where we're going. I don't say any of that. I
kind of like hop up next to you and I'm like, hi, so I grew up in this city all my life. We're not headed towards the wharf. It's actually that way over there. A little bit.
So here's the thing. If we're gonna go see the thing that we are meant to go see, I don't necessarily know that I want these two to come along. So I'm gonna head to a place where maybe we can all sit down. Maybe not have quite so many eyes on us, because I have a couple of questions about something that Leaf said before we left the jail.
Okay.
And I don't really want to talk about it on the street.
The Whistling Fish.
Yeah.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Hey,
so I'm making small talk as we're walking through the city. You know, Kay probably would pick up on the fact that I'm just making small talk and pointing things out in the city and kind of, you know, giving them a sightseeing tour, maybe some things that they'll want to remember so that they can keep direction and, you know, landmarks, that sort of stuff as we're making our way to Whistling Fish.
Yeah, it's not a bad little walk, actually. Once you leave the monastery, you're going to take that main road and you're actually going to walk right in front of your dad's city watch station again. But you'll go by several different landmarks, most of those inns that I told you about, as well as one of the interesting things is you'll go by a handful of inns. You'll see the Green Dragon Inn, you'll see the Silver Dragon Inn, and the Blue Dragon Inn, and the where's that other one? Yeah, the Blue Dragon Inn. It's a kind of a thing in Greyhawk. There's a Dragon Inn of every color somewhere in this town.
And they're all front.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. All dens of iniquity.
The cool thing about the foreign quarter is it was built up by lots of immigrants. most of the ambassadors have homes here that do work in the Citadel, also live in the Foreign Quarter. The translators have a guild hall and a guild that you walk by. The Translators Guild Hall.
The Translators Guild
Yeah.
Hall. Okay.
There's
They seem like a lively crowd.
There's a guild for everything in this town. Very, very big pro-union, Greyhawk City. You pass by the Red Serpent restaurant and the Silver Garter, which is a large gambling hall casino set up on a hill. You walk right by that as you follow the river. There's a small river that runs through the middle of town. Don't drink the water out of that. You'll pass by the Temple of Tritherion and Abel Carter's coaching house, which is an interesting... It's like the trucking company, only they've got the power of the Teamsters. They handle a lot of the shipping to and from in the city as a wholesale business. They've even started recently using wagons to ferry people around town, sort of like a taxi service, which has not been done before. So they have several locations, one in just about every corner of town. But as you move yourself down towards, you'll go down, I forget the name of that street, but I'll get it, and you'll find the Whistling Fish Inn, which is all the way over here. Do I have you guys on this page? I do.
I'm on Twitch.
Yeah, Foreign Quarter. Is that right? Yeah, it's going to be of this little particular section of the map on the Foreign Quarter. It's like all the way down at the bottom left by the wall.
Okay.
And that gate there also goes, it's the long way around to the river. But people do travel through there. And his inn is right there on the right-hand side as you come in from that part of the town. There's a stable and a house outside. Seems like a relatively normal, white-faced, wood-trimmed building. And when you walk into it, it's suddenly huge. 14-foot vaulted ceilings. Lots of tables. There is a stairway that leads up to a second floor. Probably a third floor, considering the way it looked from the outside. Tables and chairs of various assorted sizes. Nothing seems to really match in here, but it does seem very quite cozy and warm. It's not crowded at all. There's only just a couple of people in here. It's quite dark. And then you notice the gigantic, probably 10-foot tall, very large man, I suppose, come from behind the bar and approach you as you come in with just this giant smile on his face, pardon the pun, and welcome to the Whistling Fish. And he just kind of just waves you around like, welcome, any place you want to sit. Are you hungry, thirsty?
I could eat.
I'll buy the first round.
Munching pretty hard.
I'll just have a water.
A water?
Yes, thank you.
Very good. And he's just got this huge
Strong
smile.
ale for me.
Nothing else? What'd you say, an ale?
Strong ale for me, yeah.
Strong ale. Ah, I have the strongest.
I will have 2.
Stepping it up.
You live up to your name, huh?
No, I'm just really thirsty, man.
And so, yeah, He disappears behind a very large set of double doors at the back of the main hall in this tavern. And
Do you think that I would know this giant, or at least know his name?
Grunab, he's well known.
Nab.
Gruenab.
Cool.
Are we around the same height?
He's probably
Dude,
got
are you
about.
10?
He's probably got about. I thought you were more like 7 or 8.
Yeah, it's 7 to 9. My guy's 7.
Yeah, he's got about 2 feet on you.
First thing I've had to look up to in a while.
And yeah, and he's about 10 times as wide.
That's a big guy. Don't stare. Okay. Don't stare. Okay? Don't stare.
Looking at me.
It's rude.
I've seen.
So we go take a table. I kind of put us as far away from everybody as we can. A booth, even if there is one, just something in the corner.
That's available.
Okay. So, tell me what you know. I heard you mention the Scarlet Brotherhood. Tell me what you know. Have you interacted with them?
Oh, I don't know anything about them, man. I just know that where I come from, they don't like them.
Okay. Okay.
I just was told to grow things. That was kind of my bag.
Okay. What about you, Leaf? You know anything about the Scarlet Brotherhood?
They're slavers. They sent a spy into a monastery. And I killed him. They do bad things.
That's not a bad thing.
August, make me a history check.
All right. Natural 19 plus 0. 19.
You know of the Scarlet Brotherhood in some form. They kind of sprang up recently. However, the claims are that they've been around for a very, very long time. Nobody really heard of them until the wars. And then suddenly everybody started talking about them. And it seemed that their part in the wars were more subversive. And they went on a very large conquering spree way south on the map in lands that have not been of any concern to anybody in the city, for sure. But they are basically they are pure Sul racists. Sul is one of the races of humans on Earth in the world of Greyhawk. And they are blonde-haired, blue-eyed, and right. They are this particular. Not all Sul are like this, but this particular group. They
have ties to Ayus?
They do not.
Oh, they do not. Okay.
No,
I thought they did.
They are polytheistic. They have they honor many of the same deities that are across the map, lots of older Sul deities, but it's more their political and social point of view that is evil and disgusting. Monks, thieves, assassins, priests, racist, and they are slaveholders.
Slavers.
Real pieces of shit, man.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of slavers. So, you got some time to kill.
At least a day.
Well, we got you here, the Whistling Fish. Kay and Aaron and I, we got some things to attend to back at the wharf.
Is that another cool place to go in the city? If it's like the wharf, like I feel like that has a lot of water.
Oh.
There's definitely water. There's definitely water.
Leaf and I happen to be fans of water.
Yeah, well, the other thing is though, is there's lots of rat folk.
Rats, you said?
It's.
What do you mean? Eat them all.
Kay takes notice of the comment by Leaf.
That was saying real well, man.
It's
L's bad over there.
Well, you gotta watch your back all the time, especially after
Does it
dark.
smell worse than this? And I shove the entire bag of holding in her face.
That actually smells. That's so good. That smells.
Yeah, I do. I do okay.
Wow. No, it's not that kind of smell. It's more like just ooh.
Those
Bad.
are emotions.
Oh yes. Like if
very descriptive, Kay. Very.
Well, if you needed to get somebody out of your house, and if there could be like a candle for a scent to make everybody leave your house, it would be wharf scented.
What's a candle?
It smells like shit. That's what she's trying to say. It smells like shit.
Oh.
Okay. It's it's filthy. It's gross. The water is polluted as hell. There's dead bodies laying around sometimes. It's disgusting and it stinks.
That's
and
not
dangerous.
Natural.
So it's not natural.
It's not natural. It's not
city,
a natural world.
It's natural for this city. That's what happens here. You pack all these people inside these walls, and it's you got some of them are just bad people and go a little crazy. It happens. It's dangerous. That's the point. We have a thing to do. It's dangerous. I don't want, you know what I mean? I don't want you guys to necessarily get hurt.
Well, I mean, if it's dangerous, you could use all the help you could get, right?
Yeah.
This is not a decision that Augie himself could probably make. Aaron would make this decision for Augie. I'm telling you. Damn it, Chris.
Well, that's actually then a perfect place to stop this episode for tonight. We are only about 10 minutes early from our usual stopping point, and considering that we've got our party together and Chris can come in, and then we can actually hear from Aaron next week exactly what's going to happen to you, Furbolg.
Sounds like a slur. Furbolg.
It does. I try to make it sound mean, but then when I say it, it sounds too mean.
I prefer Druid.
You trash. You're just like your father.
I never knew my father.
Man.
Aww. Oh, man. Well, that was good. We got our party together. We had some exciting stuff. There's a little bit of new information. Some great stuff happening out there. Let's talk with our players real quick, get a bit of reaction, and find out what's going on in your world right now. We'll go the opposite way. Let's start with Bogard at the bottom.
Man, what an exciting episode. It was so much fun seeing where this story took us. I'm so glad that the party finally got together. Hopefully when Chris comes back, we can discuss more of going together to the war. You can find me on Twitter or Instagram at Austin Van B, and then Austin Van B1 for Twitter. Other than that, stay tuned.
Excellent. Yeah, it was like the hump episode. It's like, all right, we're gonna have to get over this and that to get things rolling downhill. So let's go up to Olivia. What'd you think?
I am excited. I'm really enjoying myself. I am ready to see where this, since the party's now together, where we're gonna go. Excited for more interactions with like the city, being a tabaxi in the city.
The cat's gonna go eat some rats. That's what's gonna happen.
Cat's gonna eat some rats.
Rats?
Yeah.
Squash.
You can find me on Twitter at livellis29. You can also find me on Instagram at Olivia J. Ellison. And yeah, that's it.
Far out. Thank you. And Kay, what do you think?
Hello. Yeah, I'm very excited. Like they said, that the group's together now, ready to see where this leads. Still super duper curious about like the finger and the pillars and the blood and all that. So I'm pumped. I want to meet whoever the antagonist is. I know Curtis has a lot in store. Don't know what yet, but very excited to see how it all leads. Kay herself is very unsure, but if there's promise of, some gold at the end of the rainbow and maybe some information about good old Fossick, love him, whatever accent he had, love him. She's in it for now. I don't think she quite knows how to feel, but that's just her as a person. My Twitter is JahoyMatey, so JAHOY_MATEY. Follow if you like memes and dumb internet videos. And then my Instagram is JaileyBait, JALEYBAIT. Yeah, super excited. This was a good session. We might not have really gotten any fights in, but I think it laid down some good groundwork.
There may be a big fight coming. I don't know.
Ooh, spoiler alert.
Yeah.
We don't
All
know.
right. All right, Augie, you're up.
Let's go kill some rats. I'm Duke. I'm at Invisible Duke on Twitter and Instagram. You guys can check that out. I'm most excited because in all the years of playing Dungeons and Dragons that I have, this is the first time I've ever played in Greyhawk. So getting to learn more about the city, because it's different when the DM is actually, describing things for you instead of just reading something off an internet page. So yeah, that was my favorite part of this whole episode for sure. I'm super excited to go kill some rat folks and see what this party looks like once we have to go kick some ass.
What's all this rat folk stuff coming from?
We're going to the wharfs, dude. Come on.
We're talking about racism, and we're all here against rat folk.
Oh, outstanding. Thank you, guys. I am Curtis. You can find me on the Twitters as Old Curtis VO. We know there are many unsung stars out there in the tabletop roleplay game world, and we here at TTRP Theater are looking for you. If you're interested in playing or being a game master for one of our games, reach out to us on Twitter. See, Milo says so. Join us on
Milo
Patreon
wants you to sign up.
and Discord.
He's had enough.
No, I'm writing a part for Milo right now. If we
Do it
could just
for
get him to
Milo.
do that on cue, we'll be rolling. So reach out to us. Our Discord down in the doobly-doo. You can reach us on Twitter and join us on Patreon. We want to talk to you and see if we can get you your shot. Follow us on Twitch. Already said that. Check out some great other tabletop roleplay stuff happening at Table Story, Encounter Roleplay. Duke.
Lawful Stupid.
Yes, Lawful Stupid RPG. They're going to do their last... they announced it on Twitter today. Go look up their Twitter because one of their good ones...
Hemlora's last episode will be
their
this
season
coming
finale.
week, and then they're taking a month off.
Woo! And it's going to be a good one. So go check out some other streams as well. In just a little while, probably just a little bit after 10 o'clock, we're going to do Cult, Divinity Lost, Manhattan, right here on Tabletop Roleplay Theater. So join us for that. And so we'll see you here in just a little bit. Until then, good night.
Night.